you need to understand industry like healthcare, where the primary job is not use a system. For example, if in healthcare or a finance, or if it is a finance or back office operations, where you've got army of people sitting, they are actually doing everything in the system, approving, doing all that stuff. In healthcare, a clinician or a doctor or nurse, their job is not to work on a system, right? Their job is to attend to patients. So whenever system I put in for them to use, it should be kind of non-intrusive. It should help them, but it should be non-intrusive. That's just a first understanding, right? Whatever system when a partner is developing, you need to understand that this is not a primary tool for them to do their job. Now, what is missing piece when I work with multiple partners is, you got a piece of solution, that's great, it works, fantastic, but that's probably about, in my view, no matter whatever technology architecture you put into the system, it's probably 20% of the effort. 80% of the effort goes in, how do I operationalize? What do you mean operationalize? In the same example of a doctor, you made a small change or you delivered some small incremental benefit. How do I let the doctors know? I can't bring the doctors to a training room, right? I can't get all of them in one single place. It's not possible. Whether nurses. So the change we propagated, how do I first of all make it reaches them? That's number one, most important difficulty. Number two is in terms of support. Let's say if they have a problem, right? Now how do the entire chain of support system works into the place? Because when a doctor sees a problem in the application, hopefully it's not clinically problematic issue. Then if it is a clinically problematic, it is going to be very, very challenging. But even otherwise, if it is raised, then it goes to a local support team. Then they need to understand whether it is a problem of network or application or a system or a server, hardware. Diagnose that rightly, then take it to the right team internally. Okay, it was a network problem, it was a infra problem, or it was actually application problem. Even if it is application, there are 10 applications interacting with each other. Which part of the application actually created the issue? Then finally, trying to figure out, it may be because of this partner's solution, then forward that issue to them. Then they need to understand, for them the challenge as a partner is, in what setting, in what situation this real problem occurred. And in a clinical situation, I cannot recreate the same patient. I cannot give the patient data to my partner. So it's challenging for them to understand that also. Now, not only understanding, making sure that support, if they fix or if they give a solution, it propagates through the chain and goes back to that particular end user is extremely challenging. So training is a big challenge, support is a challenge, and adoption is a challenge, right? You may roll out n number of systems. How do I ensure let's say we have 12,000 people using a system, how do I ensure it reaches to them, right? And people have the inertia of, it's there, right? So you bring in new, what takes them to change? It's going to be very difficult until it is driven. How I ensure that is, we need to drive through the line of business leadership. They need to identify the value for it. They need to tell, it is important, it's important. So by the time one small change done by a partner in an application, by the time I ensure that it is used by, let's say, all 12,000 people, it's an enormous task, right? So that's why needs to be understood by I've been on the other side, right? This is a fantastic tool. I got a nice little capability on there. I got put some button up there. I got some beautiful report coming up. So why can't the users use it? This is a challenge. It's extremely difficult to take one and propagate to 12,000 and do it continuously, right? So that is a critical piece of operationalizing versus developing a solution.
So a severe bit of internal marketing.
Yes, exactly. And if I can add that, it may not be about only the change in the software. It's about a process change. For example, let's say we delivered a solution where, let's say, patient can do a payment by themselves, let's say, for a consultation. Now, earlier, my internal process are aligned such a way that, okay, patient will come, they'll come to the front desk and then go to the cashier counter, they pay, everything is okay, they're all trained very well as a process point of view. Now I suddenly introduce a system From my partner point of view, it's easy. I got a payment solution for you. You just go pay for it, credit card integration, beautiful, easy. But now how do I train all my staff to know that somebody actually already paid? That means they should have the knowledge. How do I change the workflow within the hospital? Okay, you don't have to hit the front desk, you don't have to go to the cashier counter, you can go to the nursing station. How do I change that process? I know, so when go to the nursing station, the nurse should know. Earlier they will have printed sheet saying that they paid it from the cashier counter. The nurse should know now it may not be the case. They could have been paid online, so they should be able to know how to look up in the system whether this person has already paid. Now how do I identify this person actually? So there are quite a bit of process challenge. So that's probably the gap.
Thank you.